This paper is 2024 Feb March of 0478. Variant is 1 2. The paper is for 1 hour 45 minutes, and the total marks for the paper is 75 marks. So let's start solving this paper. So I have the first question right here. The first question says that there is a computer that represents different type of data in binary. So tick one box to show the reason why computer use binary to represent data. So the first point is that computer only allows ones and zeros to be entered. No. Computer are made of switches and gates that can be on and off. Binary does not need to be converted into other forms. Oh, it has to be converted. Both computers and human can process quickly binary data. I don't think so that A, B, and C is correct. First of all, it says that computer only allows ones and zeros to be entered. This is not the case. Computer also allows if you have a high level language, then you have part B. So most probably part B is going to be the answer. Then C and D is also not correct. Then I have the B part. The B part says that one form of data is characters. The American Standard Code for Information Interchange ASCII to denary number for the character N is 78. Okay, so one form of data is character and the ASCII to denary number for the character N is 78. Now, you need to tick one box to identify the ASCII to denary number for the character Q. So, for Q part, I have 78 is an A, B, C, D, M, N, O. 79 is going to be O, uh, P, Q, R. No, this is also not going to be the case, but I need Q. Okay, A, B, M, N, O, P, Q. So this is 79, this is 80, this is 81, and 81 is right here. So this is the correct answer for this part. To solve this, you need to count each and every number one by one so that you get the value for that. Then you have the part 2 that give the binary number for the ASCII to denary number for value n. So denary value n is 81. So we need to convert this 81 into the give the binary number for the ASCII to denary number for n. Okay, all right. So I need to convert 81. So 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128. So if I add it up all together, it is going to be 64 plus 8 plus 4 plus 2 plus 1. The answer will be 81. So this is the binary. So it is going to be 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0. Then we have the second part that explain how the word red is represented using a character set, and you need to write for 2 marks. So you need to discuss that how this word or this letter is being represented when you are using a character set. Sir, but isn't N 78? N is 78. N is 78. After N, I have O, P, Q. So 78, 79, 80, 81. So that's why A is the answer. Then the next question. Sir, for the binary number y bracket 2, for the binary number y bracket 2, part 2. Is it important? Yes, it is important, but it is not shown in the marking scheme, but it's recommended if you add it. Like the marking scheme says that even if you just write the answer, it's fine. But sir, in B2, they have asked us to calculate binary number for n, and n is 78. Okay, let me cross check. Okay, given the binary number for SQ2, okay, it's fine, it's fine. So we are basically not calculating the binary number for 81, it has to be 78, right? So even if I add 64 plus 8, it will be 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 70, 80. Yes, it is still correct. The answer right here is 78. This is correct. And right here it says that give the binary number for the ASCII binary value for n, and n was 78. So we just calculate 78 into binary. Then second part is that explain how the word red is represented using a character set. So you need to define your answer. So you can write that we have unique binary or denary numbers are stored for each character, and the code R is stored in sequence following the word red. What I mean to say that every word and in this binary representation is going to be different. Yes, correct. Then I have C part 1. C part 1 says that sound can be represented as binary. Explain why recording sound with higher sampling rate creates a more accurate recording. So you need to give the answer that if you have a higher sampling rate, why would it create a more accurate recording? So you can write that if you have a higher sampling rate, there will be more number of bits allocated to each amplitude. Your amplitude will be precise and accurate, and although it's good, it's done for 2 marks, but you can also write a wider range of amplitude can also be recorded. So this is for the first part. Then you have the second part. The second part is give one other way that the accuracy of a sound recording can be improved. So you can improve the recording or the quality of a sound recording by definitely increasing the sample rate. Okay, we are done with this part. Then I have question number three. Now, question number three says the incorrect statement and the correct statement. I gave you the same question in your assessment. So question number three is a computer has a central processing unit CPU. The CPU include the register. You have program counter, you have MAR, you have MDR, you have ACC, and you have CIR. So now you need to identify the incorrect statement and write the correct ones. So two of the statements are not correct. Mm, I think the first statement is B, that is not correct, and the second statement is C, that is not correct. So incorrect statement one is statement B, which says that MAR stores the instruction of the program that is running. However, it is not, it is MAR stores addresses and not instructions. Because the question says that MAR stores instructions, but that's not the case. Then I have the second incorrect statement, which is incorrect statement C. So statement C is going to be MDR stores the data passed it to from CPU. So it is going to be mm, data is from bus, not PC, and data is from address in MAR, not PC. Then I have B part 1. B part 1 says that the computer has a 3.5 gigahertz processor and a 8 KB cache. What is mean by a 3.5 gigahertz processor? So you can simply write that it means that it can run 3.5 billion fetch execute cycles each second. Or you can also write that it can execute 3.5 billion instructions each second. Yes, it's here. You can see the answer from this part. It's simple. The question says that state what is meant by 3.5 gigahertz processor. So you just have to write that it means that your computer or your CPU is capable of processing 3.5 cycles each second, and it can execute 3.5 billion seconds cycles each second. Then we have the B part. The B part says that the CPU is changed to a dual core 3.5 gigahertz processor. Explain how the number of cores affect the performance of a CPU. So we discussed it that if you have more number of cores, they will improve performance. And more number of cores means more fetch, decode, execute cycle. Yes, yes, yes. This is also an answer. Then you have second part, it says that the amount of cache is increased to 64 KB kilobyte. Explain how the amount of cache affect the performance of your computer. You can write that if you have more cache will improve performance of computer because more cache means the processor can execute more fetch, execute cycles simultaneously. Then I have the C part one, which says that a computer has both primary and secondary storage. Describe what is meant by RAM, or RAM is one of the examples of a random access memory. Describe what is RAM. So you can write for the first point that RAM is considered as a volatile storage and it stores data. Stores data for the processor. to access more frequently. That's it. Other than that, you can also write that it even stores currently running data or instructions. So, yes, yes, yes. This says that read-only memory is another example of primary storage. RAM often stores the startup instructions for a computer. Identify one item of data that is commonly stored. So some items that are commonly stored is that you can name it as a BIOS. You can also name it part of an operating system, or you can also name it firmware. You need to write only one thing. I'm telling you multiple ones so that I'll make sure you remember. Stress some computers may use a virtual memory. State the purpose of virtual memory. Yeah, so I am writing 2 points. You can write only 1 point. Like the purpose of virtual memory is to run programs when there is insufficient RAM to run them or lack of RAM. So you can write that to allow RAMs to, they just allow RAMs to be utilized more. Then we have question number 3. Question number 3 says that a computer has an operating system. Complete the table by writing the missing function and the description. So managing memory. What does it means? I believe that managing memory means when you want to allocate memory to your processor, or maybe when you want to prevent two processes, prevent two or more processes accessing the same memory, because the computer will crash or the computer will might come to halt. Then you have the second part that allow application software to run on compiler. So it's like platform for running applications. So you are not going to write any Windows name or any product, or else you will be like you will not receive marks, you will be minus marks, deduct marks. So you just need to write the concept. No brand names are allowed, that it has a platform for running applications. Then the last part is managing input and output devices. You can write that with the help of managing, what we can do is that we can allocate our data to buffers, or we can transmit data to hardware, or we can receive data from hardware. Then the B part, the sir manage can we write communication? Yes, yes. You can also write communicating and managing all tasks of input and output device But if you try to be more precise and more accurate, you will have the potential to gain more marks. Then I have the B part. The B part says that state the purpose of an interrupt. So interrupt is like to indicate that something requires the attention of processor, and then identify one input device and one example of an interrupt that can be generated. So an interrupt can be generated, for example, if you just press a keyboard key for a very long period of time. Then we have second part, and for this part, I'm sharing the answers with you. So you can just write it down and then send it back to me. This is for the interrupt and the interrupt service routine. Yes, mouse and mouse click can be also an example of an interrupt, but you will write it down like, right, like if I just press on a mouse for longer period of time, like this.